Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
I've got my Sauvignon Blanc. Let's talk.
Can't say hello. You have to inform us that you're drinking wine. Okay.
It's not really. He's not really drinking wine.
If
Whatever
I say
that
hello, it validates their existence. Let's just do this.
Infinite Monkey Theory, citrus hop Sauvignon Blanc.
Listen, I was in the store. It
Uh-huh.
had a monkey on it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, all right, let's give it a shot. I don't know what's in here. If for all I know, it could be monkey piss.
That's fine. Next time you go to the liquor store, you just call me and I'll tell you what to buy.
Well, much like Brian's wine in a can concoction, Brian has massively put together his hand-picked artisan collection of movies coming out for the month of March in a segment that we call the Blockbuster. Brian, take it away.
I did not put together the wine. The Infinite Monkey Theorem put together the wine. And what I just noticed is it says monkey on the tab, in case the picture of the monkey did not tip you off.
Have you had many of these monkeys? I'm very confused as to the...
Oh, it's only 12 monkeys.
I'm gonna let you figure out how many monkeys are in this barrel right now.
12 monkeys
All
in
right.
the barrel.
Take it away, Brian.
Oh, March sucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
There is one movie that came out, Captain Marvel. Think we've talked about it. You people haven't seen it, but I have. Came out yesterday or today.
tomorrow.
I'm seeing it tomorrow, so the time that this is released, I have seen it.
Okay, great, CJ. What did you think of the movie?
I
It
thought
was amazing.
it was really good, and I loved the work that they did to de-age Samuel L. Jackson. I thought that was just it really held up.
Coming out March 15th is Captive State. It is like an alien invasion. Well, not even alien invasions. The aliens have already invaded movie with John Goodman, and that's the only person I know in it. It looks interesting.
No, you know Vera Farmiga, and I'm sure you know Machine Gun Kelly, and
Yeah, I just forgot that they were in this movie. More importantly, it looks captivating.
This definitely seems like a movie you're like, hey, do you like District 9? You do? You'll love this. Didn't like District 9? You're probably not going to see this.
I don't know if I'm going to rush out to the theater to see this.
No.
But it's definitely something I'll watch in the digital world. But if that doesn't suit your fancy and you're not going to see Captain Marvel for a second time, you can take your lady love to see 5 Feet Apart,
Oof.
which is all about people with, I believe, a cystic fibrosis. They can't get more than 6 feet close to each other or something like that.
They have to stay maybe 5 feet apart?
No, 6 feet apart, but she just wants 1 extra foot if you saw the trailer.
This
Oh,
looks
man.
god-awful.
It's got Cole Sprouse in it, and it's about love.
It looks really, really bad.
You are a
It
Cole
looks
Sprouse fan.
lovey.
Ugh.
And then, if that doesn't suit your fancy, you may want to take those little rugrats to see Wonder Park and let their imagination run wild.
Listen, let me tell you about this
doubt
movie.
it.
I'm so fucking tired of seeing trailers for this goddamn movie.
Looks dumb.
I want to just scream at people. Can it be March 16th so I never have to see another trailer for this movie again?
It does look dumb. Well, but the thing is, like, they're over advertising it because I think they know that no one's going
gonna
to
see
this
it.
movie.
Spoiler alert, I make it, but the mom dies, and that's why she stopped inventing things. Duh.
Speaking of movies, no one's going to go see. March 22nd comes Beach Bum. Actually, I correct myself.
Sounds like it stars Matthew McConaughey, am I right?
Josh is going to go see it because it is a Matthew McConaughey movie.
But definitely out.
And he loves some Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, is this where he's the batshit crazy guy?
Yeah, where he's just doing shit.
You know what's funny is if it had a better, like a not Matthew McConaughey lead. You look at the rest of it, you got Isla Fisher and Snoop Dogg and Zac Efron and Jimmy Buffett and Jonah Hill. Like, Martin Lawrence is in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie I would want to see if it didn't have Matthew McConaughey in.
But that's okay, Josh. I know what you want to see March 22nd. It's going to be the movie Us,
Oh, no. Nope.
directed by Jordan Peele.
I am
Hard no.
so scared of this movie.
Hard no.
It's so good that I'm like, I can't even watch past the trailers. But I already know it's a good movie. I already know it's a good movie because I can't see it. I can't possibly see it.
Nope.
That's okay, Josh. Because
None of this is okay.
I know what's going to round out March for you.
Don't say it.
It is Tim Burton's Dumbo.
Nope. You've said 3 words there that I strongly object to.
Comes out March 29th.
Dumb no. Ho-ho!
Think we're all excited. Ava Green, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Colin Farrell. What's not to love? One-armed Colin Farrell. How's that going to work? I don't know. I'm going to go find out, though, March 29th. That wraps it up for March.
Well, if you're interested to hear our thoughts on Captain Marvel, I do want to point you to our Patreon, because this month, that is the movie that we will be reviewing. We're going to be doing the spoiler cast for Captain Marvel, and our retro review this month is going to be Green Lantern. So...
I watched it last night on my flight home.
Oh, wow. Airplane movie. That really...
Yeah.
I gotta watch that this week.
Yeah. So that's what's going on our Patreon. If you'd like to get access to those 2 exclusive episodes, as well as the newly released Fighting With My Family spoiler cast, I highly recommend you go to patreon.com/thatkindofnerd or check the show notes and subscribe. We greatly appreciate your support.
Spoiler for the spoiler cast. No one fights with their family.
It's not true.
Fake. It's all fake. Wrestling.
It's not fake.
It's not fake.
Scripted.
Yes,
Calm down.
Please. God damn it. All right, well, now let's turn our attention to the world of TV and movies in a segment that we call Screen to Stream. So we now have a better look at... Oh, man, I can't believe I'm doing this. Sonic the Hedgehog in a live-action form? I mean, I don't know how to feel about this, considering I've seen no actual footage. I've just seen this rendering of him.
He looks so terrible.
He does look real bad.
Why is it terrible?
It's...
It doesn't look like Sonic.
He's got regular... He looks exactly like Sonic. He's got just regular size shoes on and doesn't have giant hands. It's like Rocket Raccoon became Sonic.
No, but this did not need a live action like adaptation. I don't want to see the individual hair follicles. Just if you're going to do a movie, I'm fine with it. Just give me a cartoon. Give me like DreamWorks cartoon of it. This is so dumb. It looks bad. Like
the Pokemon in Detective Pikachu look different, but none of them look bad. They just look realistic. This Sonic doesn't look...
It doesn't look anywhere near...
It's like they didn't base him off the original design.
It looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It absolutely does not. In fact, you should click the link in the show notes, see some of the redesigns that people are doing on it to make it look more like Sonic, and you'll see how much not like Sonic this looks.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the same picture I'm looking at?
The left is the official, the right is the edit.
Yes.
What's wrong with the top? I don't understand. They look exactly alike to me. They look the same.
Look at the eyes. The eyes are all wrong. The nose is a different shape.
Everything is wrong about it. He just looks off. There's nothing like terrible. There's nothing I can point out and say, This is why it doesn't feel like Sonic. It just feels off. You know, when you walk into a room and it feels like somebody's been there and messed with your shit.
No.
And you're like, someone messed with my shit. This is what it feels like.
No.
You didn't grow up on this shit. You were a teenager not playing Genesis at this time.
I mean, my buddies had Genesis. I played Genesis. This looks exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right,
Your
memory of Sonic and our memory of Sonic are very different than yours. And listen,
there's a look. I see. There's a gold ring. Look, a gold ring.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying this movie is doomed to fail because it doesn't look like it. That's fine. It doesn't meet with most people's expectations, and it's just off, and it's just off by a little bit enough that you're like
enough to make it unsettling.
What is it? Like it's just something about I'm spending more time.
Finger on it.
Yeah.
You guys are being weird.
You're weird.
So listen, I would like to see footage. I would like to see a trailer before I make up my mind. Just this design just looks off, and I just want to tweak a few little different.
It just makes me feel like ants are crawling under my skin.
Ew! Wow.
I'm just saying that's how it makes me feel. That's the emotion it elicits out of my brainscape.
So as we know, the final season of Game of Thrones is set to come out very, very soon. And George R.R. Martin has come out and say that there may be some discrepancies between the Game of Thrones finale and his books. To which
the books that he hasn't written yet.
No shit, Sherlock.
Right.
He's at this point 2 books behind the series.
And clearly his strategy is, I'll let HBO write that. I'll take what I like from that and make it in the book. And the things I don't like, I'll just do myself.
And that's fine. I mean, I'm still going to read the books.
Best strategy ever. Let someone else do the heavy lifting, and then you just come in and be like, I will continue to make money off of this by myself with the thanks of your work. So if people are not happy with this season finale, or the series finale, you'd be like, oh, okay, I will change the ending. Or, yes, I will do exactly this. So he gets to kind of do a little bit of trial and error. Good for him.
They're his characters. He can do whatever he wants.
Do whatever you want. I just think this is brilliant. I think this is the best way to figure out how would I write the end and be like, oh, okay, well, I'll change this.
It's gonna be well, I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. Play Journey and fade to black.
I'm not going to Sopranos this at all.
I will laugh hysterically if that's how Game of Thrones ends.
Right. Dragon comes out. Steve
Does
Perry.
White Walkers step up before like the Battle of Winterfell? It just fades to black. Everybody's playing Don't Stop Believing. That's how the show ends.
They haven't.
Everybody's
the
angry.
White Walkers haven't spoken yet, so they may as well just sound like Journey. I just think it's a brilliant tactic from George R.R. Martin, and I applaud you, sir. And yes, I'm okay with things being different than the TV series. Josh, you had thrown this into the topic list here, and I'm very curious for the larger discussion. Chris Nolan is about to start shooting his next movie, and he's rallying directors to get moviegoers into the theaters versus going to like Netflix. Talk to me a little bit about this article.
I just thought it'd be a good discussion about a broader topic, which is we've seen in the past couple of years a ton of big name actors make movies that were Netflix originals, Amazon originals, whatever. Certainly that takes away from the box office, and you have to wonder in the long run what that does for the movie industry as a whole.
Did you guys not see the big news story about Spielberg and the Oscars?
Yeah, they've been the Spielberg and Netflix have been in a pissing match over trying to exclude some of these movies from being nominated for Academy Awards unless they're released in theaters.
He's saying
they shouldn't be.
He's saying in order to be nominated for an Oscar, you should be released in the theaters. That Netflix should be nominated for Emmys.
I agree with that.
That's the big thing. I'm not so sure I agree with that.
Well, they're not. They're not
I
box
see the
office
point, but I'm
movies.
not so sure I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like Roma, right, was in select theaters, but like Netflix's argument is, hey, we want to give people who don't maybe have the ability to go see small indie movies the ability to see small indie movies that may be actually really good and nominated for should be nominated for awards, but because they're just on a smaller scale, no one can see them. We give people the opportunity.
I'm going to give you the perfect example as to why I don't agree with this. I hope it's perfect. We'll find out. You tell me. 10 years, 20 years ago, like in the 90s, like you had like your major blockbusters, which were garbage, but major blockbusters like, Eraser and Drop Zone and stuff like that. But like movie theaters were so prolific. You had dollar theaters, $1.50 theaters, things like that. You had all the indie stuff out there too. You could still see a movie and not have to watch a big blockbuster. So the Oscars was still pulling from all of that stuff. Now, because movie theaters are not everywhere anymore, and you really only have a couple big ones, and all they do is the big blockbuster stuff because they need to make money. No one's blaming them for that. There is not an opportunity to see smaller movies. So I will equate this to, if American Psycho came out today, it would not be in movie theaters. It would be a Netflix original because the budget was low. The people didn't have a ton of money to put it in theaters. Most people have discovered that stuff on like movies like American Psycho on VHS or Equilibrium on VHS or DVD, and you didn't see it in the theater. So I think 20 years ago,
those aren't movies that were ever going to be nominated for anything.
That's not the point. They should have the chance to be nominated.
All right, look. You said Netflix original, and I want to point out like Scorsese, De Niro, Pacino, Harvey Keitel, and Joe Pesci are doing a Netflix original that will be a theatrical release.
But they're only making a theatrical release in small select theaters, so that way it can be nominated for an award.
It's legitimately. Just
are we sure? Are we sure
Yep.
that the Irishman is going to be select theaters only?
Yes. I don't think it's a wide
Really?
release.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's a wide release at all.
You're going to only see it in like major cities: Philly, LA, New York. That's it.
Yeah, it's major.
And it's
markets.
only going to be for like 4 weeks or something.
I'm looking at an article that says they're working on a wide theatrical release.
Sure, they're working on it. They're not doing it though.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, Josh. Like a movie like that, yeah, Scorsese, whoever freaking produces that movie will back him 110% because it's freaking Martin Scorsese.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about.
But the fact of the matter is, like, there are plenty of smaller movies that got Moonlight got nominated for an award and won an award, and no one freaking knew about it until it won an award. My point is that these smaller
But that
movies,
was a theatrical release.
I know.
And that brings me back to what Christopher Nolan's talking about.
Right.
He's talking about these movies should be in theaters.
Listen, I agree. I love the movie theater. I'm saying if you are an artist who does not have the money that Christopher Nolan has, that Martin Scorsese has, who does not have the clout that will allow a producer to back you that much money to do a wide theatrical release or even a limited theatrical release for a couple weeks to be eligible for an Oscar, it's really hard to get noticed. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. And the fact of the matter is that there's no venue for it anymore. It's all streaming. So why shouldn't these things be nominated for an Oscar? Why shouldn't they get the recognition for the art that they are, not just because they weren't in a theater?
So I agree with the fact that the movie-going experience, the movie theater experience, especially for certain movies, is the best way / the only way you should experience the movie for the first time. You look at a movie like Dunkirk, that needs to be seen in an IMAX theater. If you're not seen in an IMAX theater, just like, what are you doing, right?
Pretty much any Christopher Nolan movie, because he's very technical.
Yes. But here's the other part. I'll cite the movie Bright and Chronicle. Two really good Max Landis movies that one of them was released in a streaming service and got good press, right, and good buzz, and a lot of people watched it. We'll debate if it was a good movie later on. And Chronicle, which was a really good movie that was in a theater, but nobody saw. But it's really, really good. But nobody saw it. It's the balance of, I understand the movie-going theater, the movie experience. Thank you. I understand that the movie theater experience is very important. I treasure it. I like it a lot. I want to do it. But I also have 2 kids. It's hard to go to the movies. And if you don't live in an area that's a major market, if you're in Ohio, if you're in Wisconsin, you're not getting as many AMC or movie theaters out there.
You're a half-hour drive from the nearest movie theater.
Kind of like people with Apple stores, right? It's hard to even get to an Apple store. So I understand the premise. I understand the bigger part. And the bigger part of the conversation is we can't close down movie theaters and just rely on streaming, because then you lose a lot of the movie experience. I agree. However, this is not a one-size-fits-all approach. And there needs to be give and take in order to allow these two things to coexist.
I really think the answer is not, when we're talking about things that should be nominated for Oscars or things that should be recognized in general, I think the answer is not whether or not it's in theaters. I really think that community needs to sit down and define certain parameters by, this is what a film is. This is what we would consider as far as a film for an Oscar, and this is what we consider as an Emmy for like a TV movie or something. I think there's a lot that goes into it. Things like production value and runtime and, just overall quality. You establish some rules, and that's what you go by. Because these Netflix movies, to Josh's point, are getting big name directors, big name actors. You got Bird Box that had Sandra Bullock in it. She's not exactly cheap. You had Bright that had Will Smith in it. Like, you got like some clout there. Why shouldn't these people be recognized for the work that they do? That's all I'm saying. And the Emmys, as much as, listen, the Emmys are a huge deal, and it's an honor to get one and everything, but there's so much, like, just thrown in the Emmys. It's like the, if it doesn't qualify for the Oscars, then we'll just throw it in the Emmys. It's like a participation badge almost to certain things. It doesn't have the clout that the Oscars have, and I think they need to redefine the rules of what makes an Emmy and what makes an Oscar. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying there's any right answer. As you can tell, I've thought a lot about this for no reason at all.
Clearly, this topic went a whole different direction than I thought it was going to go. Brian just wants to thank the Academy.
I was just about to say, dear Academy, please hire Brian Thornton.
I'd like to thank my family for always supporting me.
The man upstairs. The man upstairs.
The man upstairs, obviously. You the real MVP.
Your neighbor? Why would you think your neighbor?
That's true. I've never met my neighbor. Not going to lie.
All right. Since we're talking about things that belong in movie theaters, I saw this trailer today, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what to think. Okay? It's called Framing John DeLorean. It stars Alec Baldwin alongside the real John DeLorean.
Yeah, it's like a half a documentary and a half a not.
The first 7 seconds of this trailer explains what it is. They frame it as the first feature film making of documentary behind the scenes movie. It's I don't know what to make of it. I'm very interested. I love documentaries, but I do like a good feature film. But it's like Alec Baldwin is John DeLorean. Alec Baldwin is Alec Baldwin.
Is Alec Baldwin.
And I'm just intrigued. I don't know if I like this. That's the thing. It's not your standard biopic. It's not your standard documentary. It's like the two got together and were like, let's see what happens. And I'm just intrigued. I have no idea what to feel about this. What about you guys?
It looks like nonsense to me.
It looks pretty crazy. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested, but I'm like, it's on Netflix.
It's a film festival movie.
Yeah. It's Sundance. I got the ass. Yeah.
It's Tribeca, Sundance. Yeah.
It is the inception of movies.
Inception was the inception of movies.
That's very true. I can't tell if it's garbage or if it's something that's going to be the first of its kind.
No, I don't think it's garbage. I think it's trying to be edgy, but nobody understands the subject matter. So is it going to come off as edgy? Probably not. It's IFC Films, right? So, it's not a bad studio. It's just, I don't like why DeLorean?
I don't know. It reminds me of a little bit of like some of the Adam McKay stuff where the fourth wall gets broken a lot during a biopic and like things are explained to you in a different and weird way. And it's just, it's attention grabbing. It makes you kind of understand the sequence of events, but this is just taking it to like another level. Like someone got high and was like, I'm going to do what Adam
it's
going to
be hard to understand like what.
Yeah. Where does the wall break?
Where does the wall break, right? So if we're seeing Alec Baldwin as Alec Baldwin in John DeLorean makeup, but then also Alec Baldwin as John DeLorean, but then also footage of John DeLorean, I'm not really sure what's happening.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be really good or this is the first and last movie of this kind.
Of this genre?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I really want to.
Fast forward 3 months from now, CJ's like, this is the greatest movie ever.
I probably will. I am. Listen, let's look at this. I am
it's
the target
so far
audience.
Up its own ass. I love it.
Yeah, I am the target audience for this movie. Don't be mistaken. I would definitely like to report back, but I really want to turn it to you, listener. I want you to go to the show notes, check out this trailer, and just tell me how you feel like the first minute after you watch it. I just want to know what was going through your brain after you got done processing the trailer. And if you're interested, I'm not saying you'll see it, but if you're just interested in the movie, I'm very curious to hear what's going on in your brains. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us now turn our attention to the world of comics. See how it's affecting TV, see how it's affecting movie, but most of all, how is it affecting Brian this week? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk!
After 8 glorious seasons, CW's Arrow will end. This fall will be the last season of Arrow, ending its creation of many shows and the Berlanti-verse, and kind of changing the way that comic book TV shows are television. I fell off of Arrow a long time ago, many seasons ago. I know you two have been keeping up. What do you feel about this? Is this sudden? Is this about time?
I'm behind. I wouldn't say I've been keeping up, Bob. I'm behind.
I love the show, but yeah, this makes sense. They've done everything they can. Like this season, I as much as I enjoy the show, Green Arrow as a character, I'm surprised they've gotten this far with it. There's been 1.5 seasons that I was like, all right, I'm over it. It's they've run their course. So this is smart. This is a good idea. Let's tap out before we make everybody hate us. They still got Flash. They still got Supergirl. They still got Legends of Tomorrow. Those are all fun shows. They have Batwoman coming up. They have several seasons to do out of it. So this makes sense. But what I'm curious about is, do they end it by killing him, or do they just give him a happy ending? And or do they do this where it's just like ambiguous and he's like, he's still protecting the city, but we've ended the show so that he shows up in like other shows as like cameos and shit like that.
I think that's the approach that during these crossover events or just other shows, they would still keep him.
I think that's the smartest approach. And you know what? And I know what Josh is going to say, and I'm going to get angry about it, but you know what? If they end the show like that, he could show up in a fucking movie and like Justice League 3. Hey, here's Arrow, Stephen Amell, and everybody's like, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah, it's never going to happen. But It'd be nice.
Josh, what about you? Again, this was a show that you had really championed in the beginning for us to start watching.
No.
No, it was Brian.
Okay.
Thank you.
Brian got me on it after saying I'm not watching a CW show.
Pay unto Caesar what is his.
I will render unto Caesar.
Thank you.
That which is Caesar's.
Render it.
So I was dead set against Arrow because CW, and Brian convinced me to watch it. I watched it, season 1, loved it. I stayed with it for a few seasons. I'm behind. I'm probably season 6, so I'm way behind. Probably needs to end. Story's kind of shit. It's kind of all over the place, coming up, gone off the rails type deal.
Well, Arrow, we will miss you. You did open up the Berlanti-verse, so we appreciate everything you've done for us. All right, another trailer that just intrigued me. Burn Bright may be the weirdest take or coolest take on Superman that we've seen in years, and this is written and directed by James Gunn of Guardians of the Galaxy fame. So this is let me give you the premise of this. Basically, it's what if Superman landed on Earth and as a kid he wasn't beloved at all, but rather bullied and decided to turn to the dark side. And
well, Superman was bullied.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, but then turned to the dark side.
Yeah, it's like if he was the Omen,
right? Yes, the Omen.
If he was
that.
Damien with superpowers. It's got Elizabeth Banks in it. Looks creepy AF.
It does.
It is, really creepy.
My favorite part is there's a scene where a guy is driving a truck down the road. It's in the middle of the night. He comes around a corner. There's the Superman-esque little kid, and he's like, "Nope, nope." And then he starts to fly. He goes, "Nope, nope," and puts the car in reverse and starts driving away. I'm like, that was
Badger, by the way.
Yes, it was Badger.
From, Breaking Bad.
That was the exact reaction that you should be having. Solid on this one.
I'm like, Badger, what are you doing?
Josh, what were your opinions on this trailer?
I mean, I think it's a really cool take on what could happen if, but it looks creepy as hell. I don't know. I'm not. It's probably not a theater thing for me.
Yeah, no. This is definitely not a Josh Burns sitting in a dark room movie theater experience. So, Brian, I'm very curious. This is not like a red kryptonite situation. This is him actually being kind of demonic-esque.
Okay, first off, I need to correct you there.
Please.
Red kryptonite does not turn Superman evil. Okay?
Okay.
It just kind of makes him all. I don't know. It turns his skin inside out. It's weird. I don't know. Read Tower of Babel. Anyway, my first impressions. It looks good. It's really creepy AF. I enjoy a good horror movie when it does something differently. This is doing something differently. It's also pretty much banking on the popularity of superheroes to say, let's make a superhero horror movie. Not even really superhero. Evil hero. An evil hero.
That would be a villain, just so you're aware.
Villain!
That's the word that you're looking for.
A villain.
Yeah.
A villain who is scary. It looks good. I'm interested. When's it come out?
Comes out May 24th, Brian.
Thanks, CJ.
Just in time for my birthday. So I turned this into our question of the week, saying what were your thoughts about this movie, but also what other superhero do you think deserves a horror film? Starting with Patreon supporter Brian Roman, he said, well, I'm typically not down for horror movies. I'm always down for a fresh take on classic heroes. Instagram follower One in a Dylan, Batman, watching the death of his parents inspired one of the greatest serial killers Gotham has ever seen. Also, the criminals are still terrified. Yeah, so if Batman was a villain, give Batman this treatment. Just let him go off the rails for it, like the Joker. Maybe the Joker's the good guy. Who knows?
Paul says they already made one. It was called Green Lantern.
Oh, hurtful. You will hear my thoughts on Green Lantern, Patreon subscribers.
And Jamala says, looks dope. So,
does look dope.
Yeah.
Jamala. Pablo Mendozex. That is not a real word, but that person says, it's like an origin history of Ultraman. I can't wait to watch it. Ultraman is the actual alternate Earth version of Superman who was evil. So yeah, cool. Whoever you are, we should be friends and talk more.
I want to do this next piece as a little bit of follow-up. We were less than impressed with the Dark Phoenix trailer last week. So there was an international version of the trailer released, and I gotta be honest, this looks a lot better. Why didn't we get this trailer?
Well,
isn't that a much better trailer?
That is an actual trailer.
It's an actual trailer that I care about.
Like, it, from start to finish, was captivating.
And it doesn't give away the whole fact that Mystique is dead. Like, it doesn't give that away.
No, you got that. You absolutely got that Mystique was dead. Charles Face.
All right.
And then they were at a funeral. You got
They could have been for anybody.
And no. But specifically focusing on Beast and Scott Summers in the rain in suits, she's dead.
Okay. But this is a much better trailer.
Oh,
it's so good.
Man, does it look good.
And why didn't we get this trailer? Why is this the international trailer? Why didn't America get this? Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my favorite hobby, where I go around the internet, I find the weird, I find the obscure, and then I ask these two, well, I guess gentlemen, for their tech perspective. So, Josh, since you are a traveler of the sorts, flying around the country, really never staying in one place for too long, I just want to get through... It's halfway through the introduction before the tech perspective.
Tech perspective.
Thank you, Brian, as always, for the theme of tech perspective right in the middle of me talking. So Uber reveals the most bizarre items forgotten by riders. And I just thought this was kind of interesting because I think we've all been in a situation where we maybe have had too much to drink and we shouldn't be driving. So we catch an Uber or we catch a Lyft and we get on our ways. But I'm really kind of interested in this because there was one that's broke down by the days of the week. And it said,
yeah,
on Monday, people most likely forget watches. Tuesday, headphones. Wednesday, laptops. Thursdays, books. Fridays, passports. Saturdays, phones. And Sundays, not kidding, people forget cakes. Cakes.
You gotta love the data being collected.
There's a list of some weird items, but I thought this one was kind of interesting. There's the Lego Championship Wrestling Belt. Someone left that behind on Uber. A Harry Potter magic wand. Someone left behind a mannequin. But the one that was really weird to me was 6 chicken tenders from 7-Eleven. It's just like, it's oddly specific.
How many did you get? Do you get like 11?
I don't know.
Did you eat half of them and say, I'm going to leave the rest for the driver? Is that the Uber driver's tip? Because you got to do that shit in the app. And there's nothing that says chicken tenders. It's either like $2, $4, or $6. You got to get yourself straight, bro.
That's like a double order of chicken tenders. Chicken tenders are usually, we're not talking about nuggets here that come like, 4 or 6. Tenders is 3, right? Per little.
Oh my God, that's a great point, Josh, because there's more chicken to the tender than in the nugget.
Yeah. So they left behind 2 of those little cardboard boxes full of chicken tenders.
Right. I also thought salmon head was a
that's strange
addition. Yeah. But Josh, you've been in many a ride share. Have you ever forgotten anything or discovered something weird that someone had left behind?
The last time I rode in a taxi cab, if you will, was in San Francisco, and we had a bunch of us going from like our hotel to the office, and like 3 Ubers canceled on us, so we just hailed a taxi. Jump in, and there is a bloody handprint.
That's right.
At my head.
Yes.
Which was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me or that I've seen in a taxi. Like, I mean, this is any of you who follow me on Twitter at JNubs572. This has been on my Twitter for years. It's in my media. I don't post a lot of media, so you can see it quickly. A bloody handprint right next to my fucking head. And the driver very, very much could have been a serial killer. No doubt in my mind.
I remember getting like a text message that day. It was like, please help me. Or if you don't hear from me in like 20 minutes, I need you to call the police.
I am not nearly as well versed in the rideshare program as Josh, but I do want to share about the most epic Uber ride I have ever had in my life. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing special about it. I was in Fort Lauderdale. Guy pulls up. He's got low lights, like it's green on the road underneath him because he's got LED lights there.
It's not low lights, but
whatever you want to call them. I've been drinking
it's
anyway.
Undercarriage.
Sure. I don't know cars. There's lights underneath the car. That's all I know. It's low like lights. A spaceship. Okay,
yes, spaceship.
I was at the airport getting to the hotel. This mofo had a switch hooked up with several TV screens around. So you could play Mario Kart while driving. So you're driving while he's driving you. It was insane and awesome. And I wish the trip was more than 15 minutes.
I did find the tweet from Josh, by the way. It was December 10th, 2015. It says, there's a for real bloody handprint in this cab. Please help me at Uber. Hashtag should have waited the 6 minutes.
But it's not a CJ. It's not like a faded.
No, it's
handprint.
fresh.
It's fresh.
It's fresh. Now it is time for that kind of nerd to give a product, a topic, whatever, the third degree in a segment that we call the nerd degree.
The nerd degree. Anyway.
Josh, is another one entered by you. I have seen this product before, but it's always nice to know I'm not alone when I find the weird things online. It is called Big Enter Key.
It's like a punchable enter key.
But why?
Well, because sometimes you just need the stress relief, right? And I want to be the guy like, boom.
Yeah.
Like, I want to type my things
Boom.
and then like hammer the enter key.
Absolutely.
Josh, if I need stress relief, I just punch CJ.
Stretch relief. He definitely just punches me if he needs stretch.
You know,
Stretch
if
relief.
I need if I need stress relief, really, if I need stress relief, I punch CJ. If I need stretch relief, I grab my Stretch Armstrong, circa 1994.
So I love this thing because it's described as a, I can't believe this, a Big Enter USB pillow, anti-stress, supersize enter key, unbreakable pillow feature. Whew, that's a good description.
No, I mean the feature was the next.
I
That
know.
feature isn't in the thing.
But anyway, I can't tell you. After I get done editing the show, I'm just about to upload it. I'm like, oh, finally, 2 hours done. Just punch. I definitely need one of these in my life. And right now, it's on sale for $20. Like,
Yeah.
that's a reasonable price for this really big novelty.
I do think it's a reasonable price. Like, and because
Wait, how much?
$20. I do quite a bit of, I use iMessage on my iMac, so I could type out a text and then emphatically
Yes.
send it.
You know what I equate this to?
What?
What's that?
I equate this to when went back in like 1994. I want to take you back to like the 90s. Remember, Josh, you had that clear phone that had all like the pink sprockets in it and shit, and you were on the phone. Maybe you were talking to a lady love. Maybe you were talking to your parents. Who knows? But you got angry and you said, fuck you, and you slammed the phone down. That's what this is.
Yeah, because you can't really hang up the phone angrily on a smartphone anymore.
No, you can't. But you know what you can do? You can type a text message and whap! Punch an enter key.
You can whap the enter key.
Whap.
You can whap it.
Whap it with a whap it.
Whap it good.
Whap it with a whap it wapidly.
In terms of our standard unit of measure, stress relief.
Again, this never changes.
Right.
Yes, stress.
This is, for me, I imagine, beach house outdoor shower. It's not warm, but it's not cold.
Right.
But you're getting all the sand off you. But while you're out there, you've left yourself an ice cold beer, and you can have a shower beer.
Ooh.
This is the keyboard stress relief equivalent of a shower beer.
Shower beer.
In terms of our standard unit of measure, this is 4 Sauvignon Blancs from the Infinite Monkey Theorem.
And that's a good one. This is when someone makes some delicious cookies and they're still cooling, but they're not too hot, but not too cold. They're just right. They're just a little fresh. It's the best. And a good glass of milk. I'm down for this. The thing looks great.
Yes, glass.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the nerdy world this week. I want to thank you so...
The nerdy world.
Yep, I'm keeping that in. Do me a favor. If you're bold enough and maybe don't like your friends, share this episode with them, because sharing is the ultimate internet currency, and we thank you for your donation. Thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we'll see you all next week.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.
Tune in next week for Wine Talk with Brian and Josh, right here on your local NPR station.
Why do you go NPR? Why do you go NPR when we're
If we're
talking about wine?
wines, wouldn't that...
Why? I'm a wine drinker.
I know,
I've never
but is
had
that not like an NPR...
No, I've never had an NPR moment in my life. Ever.
Wine people are classy. They're not aggressive, Josh. Don't be aggressive.
I don't think classy and NPR voice necessarily go together. And I also don't think that not classy and aggressive go together. I'm a classy gentleman. What was the radio station on Parks and Rec with the two guys?
Right, you're listening. I know what you're talking about, though. And
yeah.
we are now going to be playing a melody of Jazz Big Band by Snenny Boots and the Muffins. That's horrible. Yes, it is. Quite bad. Quite bad.
Have you tried this wine in a can?
I've had, not that
Hacked
one.
by the infinite monkey theorem.
Not the monkey wine, but I have had wine from a can, and it's okay.
It is a Sauvignon Blanc, from what I'm told.
You're just sitting around drinking white wine.
Grape wine with citrus hops added.
I'm sorry, it's what?
Grape wine with citrus hops. A little bit of lemon, citrusy.
No, this sounds really bad.
The
Now.
coconut.
That's not wine.
It's like a wine. It's like a wine cooler.
Yeah, like someone's like, you know what, I like IPAs. Do you know what else I like? What? I don't really know, but let's just put some other shit inside of it.
Oh, Lordy Lord, I have not watched this trailer. Hold, please. Can't watch this trailer if CJ is talking. I have had one too many Sauvignon Blancs to understand what the fuck that trailer was about. Your introduction is some pale, fake-ass attempt at a theme song when you do scream to stream. Like, come on, just say the words. CJ?
What?
I need you to correct yourself. Render. I made you watch.
So,
these
Brian,
shows.
this was a show that you had championed, and Josh, you dove like head first into this after you got the recommendation from Brian. How do you feel about the show ending?
Josh you don't need to say anything. He's gonna edit around it. It's okay. He's gonna move the voice around.
I did not anticipate after I left work today that this was the Brian I was getting.
Well, you didn't anticipate Brian drinking a 4-pack, bottle of wine.
I did not anticipate
an entire bottle of wine.
I know where Brian's going to be at the end of the day. I'm like, I know what kind of Brian I'm going to be getting. Nope. It's wrong on this one.
Your question, CJ. What was your question?
What were your first impressions after watching this trailer?
You sound so defeated.
I don't feel
love
good.
it.
I don't have the energy for this. Keep going.
CJ,
What?
I got one more can.
Can you fucking answer the goddamn question?
Well, I don't know if you know this, CJ, but Sunday is a very big cake day. It's a huge day for the cake industry. A lot of events happening, perhaps weddings or maybe birthdays or parties. There's a lot of cakes going on. People bring cakes to other venues and other events, and they forget the cakes in the Uber rider. Now, hey, if you're an Uber driver, you get to eat that cake. Congratulations to you. Other than that, this article's dumb. CJ, I finished all the cans of wine. It's all empty. I'm going to need you to break this so I can go get more Jameson. I'm just saying, I'm a little loopy.
Really?
Prepare yourself.
Be
October.
loopy.
Really? You're a little loopy?
Loopy.
Oh.
All right, anyway, let's wrap it up. What's the rating system today? Hold me now. I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet. It's so far down.